more than 60 years, Brits have been sold the dream of a new paradise life in Australia. Every year, nearly 30,000 people emigrate to Oz, and many head for the vibrant city of Sydney, attracted to the harbour lifestyle, the sunshine, and the 70-odd beaches up and down the coast. We'll meet Ben, who came to Sydney seeking a bachelor lifestyle.
I just fell in love with the place.
And found one. And we'll join John and Kathy,
married life,
who are toiling hard in their new bed and breakfast.
Hey, how's that?
In the beautiful Blue Mountains west of Sydney.
This helps you cope with all sorts of adversity.
We'll meet high-flying paramedic Chris, who came to Australia to save lives in an area covering over 88,000 square miles.
It's a great way of spending your day in the office.
And we'll discover what life's really like for Poms down under. The weather in Australia is the big attraction for any Brit seeking a new life. The average temperature in summer is 26 degrees centigrade. But some like it cooler, and just an hour west of Sydney, in the Blue Mountains, the temperature drops by 7 degrees. Perfect for a couple of Poms.
nice healthy breakfast.
Where's my coffee?
Here. Can you actually go and say hello to the guests, please?
Oh, yeah.
John and Kathy might have left behind the heat of the city, but it's just as hot in their kitchen.
Gordon will be proud of me.
They moved up from Sydney 18 months ago and opened up an English-style bed and breakfast.
We just pretend we're under pressure. Don't we, Kath? We like playing that pretend game, don't we? There's loads of pressure on. You can see, can't you? You can see she's getting close to the edge.
Love.
She's going to snap.
You're starting to annoy me now.
The Blue Mountains is a World Heritage Site and is renowned for its majestic scenery. Its natural beauty draws visitors from all over the world. Tourism is the main industry, and when John and Kathy came for a visit, they saw something that caught their eye.
How did it go? We got to about here and we went, look at that. And then we started talking at the sides of our mouth because we didn't want the agent to know that we were interested. So we were like, gee, look at that. How nice is this place? And to us, I mean, it just looked like a real English country house.
John is from Chorley.
I'm Lancastrian through and through. I've never seen myself as Australian, ever, in a million years.
He learnt his trade, like his dad, as a slate roof tiler. 20 years ago, Australia needed tilers, so John jumped at the chance to emigrate and got in.
And I think they honestly believed I was actually a ceramic tiler, not... Because there's no slates, there's any slates, particularly over in Perth. There's no slates on the roofs. The first house I walked into, I went, you silly, you know. So I was in, that was it, I was already in, so foregone conclusion done.
Kathy emigrated from Brighton with her family when she was in her 20s. She married John 3 years ago.
We met and married really quickly. 8, 9, 10 months, something like that, after we met. It has its moments, shall we say.
There are 32 other B&Bs in the area. John and Kathy thought there was room for one more.
We've got the fire going, you'll be glad to know we've got the fire going on a day like this.
And for the last 6 months, they've been fully booked.
Breakfast is up here, so because there's a group for it, we'll all be on big tables. Unless, if it clears up and it's brilliant sunshine like you'd expect in Australia, then we'll be on the terrace.
Now John and Kathy are keen to expand their business and get a slice of the £3 billion Aussie wedding market.
Got a wedding next weekend at the house.
Pressure's on.
So the pressure's on to get everything looking good.
The average age in Sydney is 32, and the city attracts thousands of young professionals every year. 18 months ago, Leicestershire boy Ben traded his high-stress life in the UK and relocated to Sydney to live his dream.
I spent a year here in 2003 on a working holiday visa, and I just fell in love with the place, and pretty much spent the next 4 or 5 years looking for ways to come back.
34-year-old Ben has been living the bachelor high life since arriving back.
Negotiated a pretty good rate for a cash price.
My name's Brian, I'm your skipper for the night. My first mate Darren. And we've got
Most
Polly
people
coming
see
along.
Sydney Harbour by ferry. But if you've got some money, you can hire a yacht for about £2 grand. With women outnumbering men 3 to 1, it's not surprising Sydney's also known as Chick City.
This is a real treat, to be honest, and it's just, I think, a confluence of events or of factors have sort of come together at the right time to enable me to be on a boat like this with a load of really good mates and having a good time. Cheers. Cheers, boys.
After 18 months, the laid-back Aussie lifestyle has got to Ben in more ways than one.
It's a very sort of outdoorsy lifestyle. People are very healthy, people are very active, and obviously some of the people are okay as well. More than okay. Wonderful.
Ben is giving up his party lifestyle for an Australian, city lawyer Felicity.
I grew up on a farm down near Canberra and moved up to Sydney about 7 years ago.
They started dating 6 months ago, and now they're getting married.
I woke up this morning and said to Ben, this time next week you'll have a wife, and I think he was like,
I was thoroughly excited at the prospect.
It's one thing starting a new life as a young professional. It's another thing crossing continents with young children.
Tickets.
Chris and wife Sarah emigrated to Australia 3 years ago with their 2 children, Esme and Sam.
I was at work one day and I saw that New South Wales Ambulance Service were recruiting UK paramedics, and so I came home to Sarah one day and I said, "You fancy moving to Australia?" thinking she'd say, "No, Mr. Silly." And she, to my surprise, she said, "Yeah, why not?" And so that was the start of it all, and I came out here for an interview, and then a year later, well, pretty much a year, yeah, we sort of got off a plane and we were here.
Chris is no ordinary paramedic. He swapped his ambulance for a helicopter. Chris is now part of an elite team of intensive care paramedics, rescuing 1,400 people a year. New South Wales is a state of diversity, with thousands of miles of rugged bushland and coastline.
Because a lot of people are into more outdoor activities, bushwalking or motorcycling, mountain biking, they can have injuries and illnesses in quite sort of remote areas, especially areas ambulance can't get to.
Only an hour into his shift, and Chris is called to a remote part of the bush. A 77-year-old farmer has been run over by his own tractor after something got lodged in the gears.
So what part of the tractor made contact with you then?
The farmer eventually crawled 100 metres to safety.
So do you think the whole of the weight of the tractor was on your chest, do you think? Or?
The man has possible chest and pelvic injuries, and they need to get him to the nearest hospital immediately.
We're going to fly him up to the John Hannah Hospital, which is about a 10-minute flight. So he's pretty stable. We've given him some pain relief, and he's taken spinal precautions because of what's happened. So yeah, we'll now head off and get him sorted.
It's a short flight back to the hospital. X-rays show the patient has broken a total of 14 bones in his body, including a shattered pelvis. But they make them hardy in Oz, and the man went on to make an amazing recovery. Despite recession elsewhere, Australia's economy is expanding, and Oz looks towards the UK for talent.
A lot of the workforce over here is English, so it really doesn't feel like you're sort of in a alien or that different a place at all, to be honest. To me, it feels like home, I think.
It's just a week to go until Ben ties the knot, but this is no Aussie wedding. He wants it English style.
We kind of want it to sort of be evocative of an English garden party. I think there'll be a croquet lawn set up, there'll be a couple of other games set up. That's kind of general theme, so an English garden party. Although, looking outside and looking at the weather forecast for the next week, I think it actually will be like an English garden party in that we'll all be inside waiting for the rain to stop.
Sydney, on average, has 340 days of sunshine annually, But this year it's been the second wettest summer since records began.
When it rains, it deluge. It just comes piling down. We've got a wedding in about a week and a half, so we've got the grass seed going on just to fill in all the burr patches. And because he was English, he wants to play lawn games and croquet in the afternoon and all that. So I just had this vision of stripes in my lawn, just like the seed packet, you know, all the different the different shades of green.
Felicity?
Yes, hi Candy, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
So Tuesday, showers clearing. Prepare for English-style wet, cold holiday season. Well, there you go. We'll be able to light the fire.
There's a chance this wedding might be a wet one.
If it rains, we'll just go, thank God they're English. We'll get the beer flowing.
Now we are offering you the chance to spend 14 nights in fantastic Sydney, courtesy of Austravel and Etihad Airways. One lucky winner and 3 guests will cruise the famous Sydney Harbour landmarks, explore the beautiful Blue Mountains, get up close to some of Australia's local wildlife and relax on gorgeous golden beaches. With your choice of luxury beachside accommodation or vibrant city apartment, plus an amazing £5,000 spending money. For your chance to win, answer the following question correctly. What's the name of the world's largest barrier reef located off the coast of Australia? A. The Little Barrier Reef. B. The Great Barrier Reef. C. The Giant Barrier Reef. Call 0901 29 39 123. Calls should cost no more than £1.03 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text your answer A, B or C to 88444. Text costs £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over. Date restrictions will apply. Entries made after lines close at 10 a.m. on Saturday the 2nd of June will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck. Australia is a growing country in need of a skilled workforce. Many of the UK's highly trained nurses and paramedics have been enticed down under by a better quality of life. Chris and his wife Sarah moved to Sydney 3 years ago. They got married in 1999 and lived in Felixstowe. Chris's salary has increased by 20% since moving to Australia. This has meant that he and Sarah could afford a 4-bedroom house with a pool for about £300,000.
Most Australian houses have 3 sitting areas. This is what you call the family room. So you've got your kitchen and your family room, so you can all be together while you're cooking and watching TV and stuff and playing games. And then you have your formal lounge, which we just go in the evenings to watch TV. This is what's called a rumpus room, so it's like a 3rd living space. So we use it as the children's playroom, but as they get older it'll be turned into their lounge room. Some watermelon here, Sam?
The kids have taken to the Aussie way of life like ducks to water.
Children spend them all afternoon in the pool, so they really enjoy it. They have their friends over. They really enjoy it here, don't you?
But Chris has felt the distance.
Yeah, you miss family and friends, and I think that's a big thing, but...
If you could pick your family and friends up and bring them all here, then
yeah,
it would be perfect.
that'd be perfect. That would be paradise.
He's getting there now, but there were times when I've had to say, you know, you're not going back, you've got to give it 2 years, and after 2 years, if you really, really don't like it, then we'll go. But it didn't take him very long, and he's settled in.
You know, I feel so lucky every time, you know, we go up, and especially if we fly up the coast on a lovely sunny day and you can look down over the beaches and you can see all of the wildlife. You know, you see sharks swimming around and dolphins and, you know, some absolutely stunning scenery.
For Poms yearning for a taste of the old country, they'll find it at the Lord Nelson, one of Sydney's oldest pubs. They pull pints of English-style beer brewed on the premises.
Let's go get a drink.
John is down from the Blue Mountains for a beer tasting session.
This is double Nelson.
Double Nelson? Yeah. That's really nice for a really light, refreshing drink, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
He's here to meet a client, the groom of the upcoming wedding.
Here he is, the man of the moment.
Hi, John.
How you doing,
Good
Ben?
to see you.
You all right?
This is Ollie, my brother.
Hello, Ollie.
Nice to meet you.
You just come from England?
Ben is determined to have an English-style wedding, and wants to serve traditional Pommy ale to his guests.
Now, we've tried a few of them more than once, but I think it's probably about time we made a decision, to be honest. Which one are we going to go with?
I'm not sure I can make my mind up, John. I think we might have to go again.
We've had 2 of the 3 sheets, we've had 2 of the Trafalgar Pale Ales, which is an English bitter, but...
Which one's this one?
I can't remember. Well, judging by the look in your eyes, 3 sheets, I'd say.
I think this might be the winner.
Is that the winner?
I think so.
Cheers, we've got a result.
With 3 kegs of their finest, John returns to the Blue Mountains.
Ready?
It's the day of Ben's wedding. He arrived in Australia just 18 months ago, and today he's one step closer to becoming an Aussie.
I'm getting excited now. It's going to be so fun. Liz? Yes? Oh, my dress.
That was just in the bedroom.
I never thought I'd get back to Australia, and then getting a job that brought me over here and living in Australia, I'm still not sure the novelty of that's really worn off.
OK, so are we sure we've got everything?
I never imagined that I'd get married, to be honest, and then meeting Felicity and falling in love with her and us getting married, and it's all a bit of a dream, to be honest.
As Ben and Felicity head up to the mountains, they're in for a big surprise. There's been a change in the weather.
So we've got the sunshine after all the rain.
Kathy is catering for 30 guests and is preparing a 3-course English-style lunch.
What time were we awake till last night? Midnight? But yeah, we were busy, but everything's on track.
After weeks of rain, John can finally cut the stripes into his lawn.
It does this occasionally, though. It's going to go. We're not going to give up. Hey! Come on. Quite Old Trafford, but, you know, it'll do. I think I'm going to tap that beer keg now.
Felicity adds her final touches and prepares to marry her Pom.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. It's absolutely adorable.
Oh.
Oh my God, you are so... And did you just get these from the garden?
Yeah.
Thank you so
We
much.
put them together. I'm not taking credit for that. Rita did that for you.
Do you know what? That is just exactly what I wanted.
In the kitchen, there's a beer crisis.
Did they send the pint glasses?
No.
They didn't send the pint glasses.
How many do you
We're
need?
supposed to drink it. Minimum of, well, we really needed us, let's say, 10.
Can we add to that order 10 pint glasses? Oh, lovely. Thanks very much.
This helps you cope with all sorts of adversity. I'm sure they had a keg of beer at Rock's Drift. 10,000 Zulus, sir. Pour the pints.
John's finest brew.
Ben's brother and some of his closest friends have travelled the 10,000 miles to be with him on his wedding day.
I'm quite excited about the ceremony, and I'm a bit nervous about my speech. So I don't know if it's good to feel slightly nervous and excited, or whether it's an ominous portent.
Ben's mum has also made the long journey. After 18 months of Ben being away, she's starting to come to terms with the distance.
In a way, it creates new opportunities for me as his mum. So I can envisage a life in the future where I'll come out for maybe a month or more each year to Australia, particularly if children come along, my grandchildren are out here.
Yeah, you look gorgeous, everything's ready, and the guests are all out there mingling, having fun.
I keep thinking I've forgotten something. Rings. I do need to go and get the rings. I better go and get the rings.
Ben and Felicity have decided to have a modest wedding to keep costs down. The average price of getting hitched down under is £24,000, compared to £15,500 in the UK.
Be honest and faithful to her, stand by her in good times and bad for all the days of your life.
I will. At the moment, the past few months, the wedding and the lead up to the wedding, dating Felicity, yeah, I feel pretty lucky, pretty privileged.
I will.
Even though Ben is now married to an Aussie, it could still take up to 4 years for him to become a citizen.
It feels amazing.
Excited.
It feels actually, I genuinely can't believe it.
With all the formalities over, the wedding party can begin, and John and Kathy come into their own.
Bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Poms.
Time for a glass of wine.
Have you found your paradise, Kath?
On days I have, absolutely. I get up in the morning, I walk around the garden and you see all the birds and you think, yeah, this is paradise. Yeah. Sometimes when I don't want to make breakfast, it's not.
I don't have any regrets about moving out here. I think it was undoubtedly the right decision for me. I'm happier in myself. I have, for me, a more enjoyable life, a more enjoyable lifestyle. Australia is very much where my future lies.
Cheers!
Another age of success.
Next time,
You been all right?
we'll meet top hairdresser Jane, who has a very special guest arriving from the UK.
As we got off the plane, shaking everyone's hand, I said, "You're not the Queen. Come on, off you go."
We'll follow Irishman Liam as he comes face to face with one of Sydney's most notorious residents.
After the movie Jaws came out, it put the fear into a lot of people.
And we'll meet Marilyn, who's feeling the strain of living 10,000 miles away from husband Ray.
Much love ever, your Ray. That's so lovely, Ray. Thank you.
Here we are.
Can Lenny Henry's own love of Shakespeare be infectious? More importantly, can he get some school children from his hometown to buy into the bard? Perspectives is on Sunday at 10:15. Next, and Steve begins a frantic search for Amy back in Coronation Street.
For more than 60 years, Brits have been sold the dream of a new paradise life in Australia. Every year, nearly 30,000 people emigrate to Oz, and many head for the vibrant city of Sydney, attracted to the harbour lifestyle, the sunshine, and the 70-odd beaches up and down the coast. We'll meet Ben, who came to Sydney seeking a bachelor lifestyle.
I just fell in love with the place.
And found one. And we'll join John and Kathy,
Married life.
who are toiling hard in their new bed and breakfast.
How's that?
In the beautiful Blue Mountains west of Sydney.
This helps you cope with all sorts of adversity.
We'll meet high-flying paramedic Chris, who came to Australia to save lives in an area covering over 88,000 square miles.
That's a great way of spending your day in the office.
And we'll discover what life's really like for Poms down under. The weather in Australia is the big attraction for any Brit seeking a new life. The average temperature in summer is 26 degrees centigrade. But some like it cooler, and just an hour west of Sydney, in the Blue Mountains, the temperature drops by 7 degrees. Perfect for a couple of Poms.
Nice healthy breakfast.
Where's my coffee?
Here. Can you actually go and say hello to the guests, please?
Oh, yeah.
John and Kathy might have left behind the heat of the city, but it's just as hot in their kitchen.
Gordon would be proud of me.
They moved up from Sydney 18 months ago and opened up an English-style bed and breakfast.
We just pretend we're under pressure. Don't we, Kath? We like playing that pretend game, don't we? There's loads of pressure on. You can see, can't you? You can see she's getting close to the edge.
Love.
She's going to snap.
You're starting to annoy me now.
The Blue Mountains is a World Heritage Site and is renowned for its majestic scenery, its natural